Hello everybody, this is TJ. I'm here with my partner in crime and colleague Barry Miller, and we've got this amazing piece of software called the Ultimate Trade Analyzer that we're going to begin to show you today. So what exactly is the UTA, the Ultimate Trade Analyzer? The UTA is a powerful trade analysis software designed to work on Excel. And the reason we did this was to give you some powerful tools so that you can analyze your trade data, whether you're back testing, forward testing, or tracking your real trades. You'll be able to apply the analysis that this software provides. You'll be able to improve your trading in ways beyond your imagination. In order to use this, you're going to need the basic system requirements. You can see right there on the list what kind of operating system this will work on. It'll work on those 3 versions of Microsoft Excel, 2002, 2003, 2007, and we highly recommend that you get yourself 2 nice sized 22-inch monitors, because when you start using the features of this spreadsheet, you're going to want that real estate. If you have a smaller monitor, 1 or 2, it's still going to work. It's just going to be a little bit more cumbersome because you'll have to rely more and more on the scroll bars. So monitors are cheap right now, and I highly recommend maybe you use this as an excuse to finally upgrade to the larger size monitors. And once you get your hands on this, I'm sure you're going to want to do that right away. Okay, so in this first video, we're going to give you a basic overview of the system. We're going to discuss the trade log, system statistics, trade summaries, trade information, trade statistics, trade performance analysis, trade distribution analysis, trade type analysis, and then we're going to look at the equity charts and the risk and money management tool. Saving the best for last. This spreadsheet has enormous power and functionality, and we're just going to get into it little by little, but this first video is just intended to give you a quick tour. And once we do that, then we're going to drill down deeper and get into the specifics of how you actually go about using the system step by step, nuts to bolts. So at this point, I'd like to turn the presentation over to Barry, and he's going to give you a tour of the Ultimate Trade Analyzer. Barry, take it away.
Hi, this is Barry Miller speaking to all of you from Denver. This technology is really amazing that we can be here in Denver and Troy out in California, and yet we're sitting here introducing this Ultimate Trade Analyzer to all the Netflix customers. I'd like to just briefly go over what the trade log has in it. We won't talk about any detail. So to get started, down here at the bottom lower part of the screen is the trade log. Now, Troy, some of your coaching students have used this in the past, parts of this, and so it's very similar for those that have. They're able to enter each trade during their back testing period. In this area of the screen here, we see all the different titles of the different columns that are in the trade log. Once data is entered into that trade log, we're able to look at some of the system statistics up here in the upper part of the screen. These system statistics we'll go over in a little bit more detail on a future slide, but it provides the information about the trades that are listed in the screen. Now, one of the interesting features of this is that we're able to take and specify specific trades that we want to look at. So maybe you have a back test period and you have a forward test period or a real trade session period, and you want to take and analyze just those trades. So we can come down here into these start row and end rows. We can specify the rows that we want to just look at, and the analysis up here in the top area will just provide the summaries of that information alone. Notice right here in the start date and end date that when you specify those rows down here and here, that it will come back and tell you what those start and end dates are. Over here on the right hand side of the screen, we can see the results of each of the trades that are taken. So we have the points that are generated from the trade, we have the day total, the week total, and the month total. So that's a real convenient feature, so you can see how your trades are progressing during each of those periods of time. Now, one of the really interesting features here is that we can switch from what we call the trade entry or the basic view to an expanded view of the spreadsheet, where we can begin to see some of the other features. So I'm going to do that real quick, and what will happen is there'll be a change in the screen at the right to where we'll see different kinds of trade types. So let me do that real quick. I'll hit the expanded view button. Takes just a second, and it's done. So what we have now are different sections or different types of trades that we can analyze in further detail. And we have these buttons up here at the top so that you can expand these sections out. So under trade type setup, which is over here in column I, you can specify one of 5 trade setups. So when we go over here to this button here called Show under Trade Setup Summary, we click that and it opens up some additional columns that will provide the trade setup summary for each trade setup. Now what we can see is up in this upper section right in here, we can see what are called the trade information. And then this lower section right in here, we can see trade statistics. Now the trade statistics are common statistics like the maximum points, average points, minimum points, total points, and the standard deviation of the points. All that information is useful, and we'll show you how to use that in a later slide. Up here under the trade summary, we have some interesting information for dollars won, dollars lost, dollars net, the number of winners versus the number of losers, the percent of winners, and that's a really important statistic that we want to keep track of, and we provide that ability under a different section of the spreadsheet called trade performance. We also have the profit factor. We also have something called the mathematical expectation, which is a measure of the expectation that your system will make money. And then we have some information again about the dollar amount, so the average won, the maximum won, the average lost, and the average dollars per trade. So there you go. That's the information under trade information and trade statistics.